Welcome to I Feel Fat Today. I'm your host, Kelly Taylor. Thank you for joining. This is the diet culture, body neutrality, eating disorder podcast. Thank you for tuning in. It is a rough look for Kel Dog today. I don't know why I set up the camera because I told myself, you're not camera ready. And I was going to record the first portion of this podcast as I do without the camera, and I thought, no, don't half-ass it, put it all together. You know, we try to give the full experience of each weekly show here at I Feel Fat Today. So you're seeing me without any makeup. I got a hat on my head and I got a zit sticker on because I just couldn't. Feel free to be as disparaging as you feel is fit in the comments. I appreciate the engagement. Anyways, you're here now, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can like and comment about my appearance. There, we have full video episodes. We also are on Apple Podcasts. Please rate and review over there. That's super helpful to me. You can send us an email at ifeelfattoday@gmail.com. And, if you're looking for advice, happy to supply you some if you send us an email. Follow the pods on social media at I Feel Fat Today and me, your host, at Hello, This is Kelly. And of course, if you're listening to this on today, April 5th, that means there is still time to get tickets to see May Plannert, friend of the show, do film her first special at Grove 34. It's in Queens, New York. I am going to be doing some time on that show to open it up so you can also see me perform as well. Ticket link will be in the bio. Really hope you come out. It's going to be great. This is May's first special. It's going to go on YouTube. And you want to see how, the sausage is made. Come out to the show and you can find out. We got Finn itching his face, making weird noises that the mic is probably picking up, but that's okay. Yes. Do you want to come on camera? So dramatic. Are you camera shy? I'm only doing this because I want to take away from my hideous face right now. Do you have something to say? No? Okay. You're released. You're not getting paid for that. You'll get paid in exposure. And greenies. Okay. So not much to touch on before I get into the episode with our guest. But there is one thing about last week's episode that I wanted to touch on very quickly because I feel like I didn't do a good job of it. I actually had forgotten to bring up this point on last week's episode where I do a deep dive on Oprah's weight loss medication special over on ABC. So, you can find out my thoughts on that episode last week, episode 45, Oprah's Apology Tour, where we do a deep dive on a recent special that she had put out. I watched it on Hulu. It's out through the ABC network, where she basically talks about how great Ozempic is. And she states a pretty convincing case, but you could tell it was extremely one-sided. But in that special, they highlighted a young girl. Her name is Maggie, I believe, and they highlight her story. Maggie is now 16 years old. She's undergone weight loss surgery and is on a weight loss medication called Victoza. Well, it's a diabetes medication, but it's good for weight loss. So that's who was sort of featured in the Oprah special. And it is the same girl from the article from The Cut that also has been covered on this episode called American Girlhood Generation on Ozempic or something like that. You can scroll back and find where that episode is as well if you want to take a look at that. But the whole reason why I'm bringing that up is something I had forgot to mention is the FDA has approved weight loss medications for children that qualify above the age of 12. And the reason why that is something that should be discussed is there are many, I can't think of the right word. There are many, not plausible, there are many good reasons that a girl that is in like Maggie's situation where she was like 11 years old and almost 300 pounds, I think, you could state a pretty convincing case that this is somebody that needs some, weight loss management intervention, right? Whether it be surgeries or medications. So FDA approving weight loss medications for kids as young as 12 is a good thing in that specific case. But I think what needs to be brought up in conversation is what are the implications of that for children all over the place that aren't 11 years old and almost 300 pounds? What if they feel 300 pounds? Okay. And what if they have fat phobic parents that only want the best for their kids and think that them being anywhere from, 10 to 15 pounds overweight, it means that they're like, obese and going to have a horrible life of obesity, right? So, because I picture myself in a situation where, I was young, let's call it 12. I can't pinpoint the exact age, but let's, you have plenty of 12-year-olds that are walking into Weight Watchers meetings now, right? Well, Weight Watchers is now pivoting to not just be a dieting company where you can sit around and talk about how difficult dieting is in group therapy. Now you can get on medications for Ozempic. And I just picture myself, that 12-year-old in the early 2000s in a Weight Watchers meeting with the mere idea that I could maybe be given, my life back by going on something like Ozempic. And I really feel like there are going to be parents going to the doctors in droves to get their children on Ozempic or, GLP-1 medications, with it being approved for children under the age or 12, around the age of 12. And I know what you're thinking. Well, there's going to be things put in place so that, if you're not somebody that's supposed to have Ozempic, then you're not going to get it. Well, I think you'll be surprised by how easy it is to get Ozempic. Number one, if you can afford it, you can get it. There's going to be some rich parents out there that really want their daughter to be as skinny as possible because their daughter also wants to be as skinny as possible. That kid is going to get Ozempic, okay? I'm not talking micro, I'm talking macro. Like, there will be people that do this, kids that want to do this because I know I would want to do this. Like, just speaking from experience of the different weight loss things that I have tried throughout my life, everything from like gas station weight loss pills to being prescribed things. Like I've tried it all, and I would try it by any means necessary as early as I could. So that's number one. If you have the money, you're going to get your hands on it. Number two, it's pretty easy to qualify as obese if you are not obese. My entire life, not once in my life do I think I have ever been in the normal or average range on the BMI scale. I have always, the entirety of my life, have been in either obese or overweight when I didn't look obese or overweight. I definitely looked thicker, but I wasn't, stick thin, super skinny, but I qualified for drugs that, looking back, I looked fine. I didn't need to be on any kind of weight loss management medication when I was in my early 20s, but I qualified and I wanted it more than life itself. So I got it. So I did a little Googling on this, and I came across something from the National Library of Medicine. If you want to check this out, it'll be in the description of the episode. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to highlight some of the key points that I think brings up a good, just a good point as to what the implications are when children are put on these GLP-1 weight loss management medications. So I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to note that this came out August of 2023, and I think this was before the FDA approved GLP-1s for kids 12 and over. because I think that happened a few months later, if I remember correctly. This is called unintended consequence of glycagon-like peptide 1 receptor agonist medications in children and adolescents, a call to action. The purpose of this perspective is to highlight potential unintended and adverse consequences of the increasing use of glycagon-like peptide 1 receptor agonists, can't get that word right, in children and adolescents. So it's very short. I actually could read the whole thing, but I'm not going to bore us with this. But there is one section that bullet points basically the possible unintended consequences of supervised or unsupervised use of GLP-1 receptors in children and adolescents. So the first thing that they mention is competitive sports, wrestling, martial arts, gymnastics, ballet. Community sports like wrestling or gymnastics where body weight is a competitive factor are known to engage in unhealthy behaviors to accelerate weight loss. So that's, I could think of like the dads that you would see volunteer coaching for like your softball game or your little brother's t-ball game, and everyone's 8 and they're like, we're going to need pitching. Like people like that are going to get their, teens on weight loss medicine so that they can, make weight or whatever. Next point, unsupervised use for unwarranted self-perception of obesity or overweight, particularly among female adolescents. So this is saying inaccurate perception of being overweight in healthy weight adolescents results in unnecessary weight control behaviors, so body dysmorphia. In children and young adults, supplements sold for weight loss, muscle building, and energy were associated with almost 3 times the risk for severe medical outcomes compared with vitamins. So kids are going to be hurting their bodies because they perceive themselves to be overweight when they're not, because they have, they're dysmorphic about their body. Next point, excessive or insufficient medical Finn, your growls are getting or your growling is throwing me off. I'm on a roll. Excessive or insufficient medical prescription in populations where high prevalence of obesity and poor fitness. Pediatricians have little or no formal training in effective ways to deal with obesity, overweight, or poor physical fitness in their patients. Short-term effectiveness, convenience of drug prescriptions may be a well-intended but lead to untested effects for when used for long duration during critical periods of growth and development. So this is saying that it could potentially be over prescribed to populations that have a high rate of obesity and lack of ability to have proper fitness. So I think what they're referring to here is areas of like food deserts. Well, all they have is fast food. So is a solution to the obesity epidemic in food deserts where they only have fast food and unhealthy foods to eat, GLP-1s, weight loss medications? Like, it's bringing up a very valid point that, yes, there might be families that are severely overweight, but do they have the ability to access affordable, healthy foods? So those are the different points that this article, I guess, brings up. It's, I think a full academic paper, so someone smarter than me can go into here and, dice this up and digest this. I'm not going to do that, but I think it brought up this helped articulate what I was feeling about the idea that, if I'm 13, 14 years old, I feel terrible about myself. I tell my mom I'm going to kill myself if I'm not, in a smaller body. I think she's going to do what she has to do to make me be happy in a body that I feel more comfortable in. There could be parents that get their kids on GLP-1s because it's I know you want this, and you have a bias in thinking that, yeah, you will have a happier life if you're skinnier. Things will get easier for you. It will be easier to date. You will have a more fun time just living your life because it's easier to shop because you'll be thin. So there could be a whole class of parents that really think that they're doing the right thing for their kids, not knowing that they could be exasperating other aspects of their health that are detrimental, like being dysmorphic. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna bring on my guest this week, who talks a little bit about being a fat kid, and sort of the turning point for them and how they lost a bunch of weight and then was faced with a very scary health diagnosis at a young age, which kind of reshaped and reformed a lot of his outlook on fitness and nutrition. We really get into it. It's a great episode. Please welcome my guest this week, comedian Anthony Greco.
Everybody gets along really well when there's no guests. That's when everyone gets along best. Now Petra's on her own way.
Then there's peace.
Yes.
I've brought a disturbance to the force, huh?
No, you're fine. You're so fine. I really appreciate you coming over and coming on. How you doing?
Of course, yeah. I'm good.
Good. Okay, yes. So we were messaging on Instagram, and it sounds like you have a tale of being a, quote, former fat kid.
Yeah, I wasn't like the fat kid in school, but I was definitely like a chunkster. Growing up.
Where did you grow up?
Long Island.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Fun. Very cool. I'm from New Jersey, so
Okay,
I really enjoy
yeah.
your elk. Yeah, so, and like Italian background.
My mom's Irish, but my dad's Italian. Yeah.
Okay, Irish Italian, of course.
Classic Long Island fucking.
Yeah, totally. So the food was very hearty, mom cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mom made like Italian food.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, so did you play sports growing up? What was the deal with that?
Yeah, so I actually the reason like I started dieting, like I would have my mom would just like bake cookies every night and
yeah, she like showed her love through food.
Yeah. And it was just I ate really well, but I would have like an entire pie of pizza.
Right.
And I would just have like I remember one day I had like an entire thing of like cinnamon buns for breakfast, and it was like 3,000 calories, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Like 3,000 calories for breakfast. How old were you when you were having these decadent breakfasts?
Like 12, dude.
12 years old. I mean, that's prime
Yeah.
like age when you are having sticky buns for breakfast.
Yeah. And then I loved basketball, and I just like couldn't do the running portion.
Oh, okay.
And I had really bad asthma. So I lost like 30 or 40 pounds.
Okay.
Like my sophomore year of high school, yeah.
You were going into sophomore year where you dropped like 40 pounds.
Yeah, like I tried out for the basketball team like my sophomore year, and I just couldn't do the running, and then I was like, I need to like do something if I'm going to make it next year.
Yeah.
So my dad's very big into working out, so I started working out with him, and then I joined the track team. I was a sprinter.
Oh, that'll help.
And yeah, I just lost like...
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
I have a younger brother and a younger sister, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're the oldest. And did they ever struggle with their weight, or were they like a kid in sports that...
I don't think my brother's kind of... I think he would say he struggled with his weight a little bit. And then my sister, she just lost like a ton of weight.
Oh,
I don't think she was happy where she was at. Yeah.
Family of people that diet.
not like a fat family, but definitely on like the chunkier side at one point in their life where, yeah.
So did your mom diet a lot growing up?
No, not really. She would always kind of like, she doesn't really eat.
Yeah, she's she's a mom that cooks but doesn't eat.
Yeah.
Totally.
Or she'll just pick on the food while she's cooking, I guess.
And not actually sit down and have a meal. I get that totally. Okay. And so when it came to like you being 12, because 12 is still pretty young. 12, 13, that is young to like decide to lose weight.
Well, I wasn't like 13 when I decided. I was like more like 15. It was like a sophomore in high school.
Oh, right. Yeah, sophomore in high school. Yeah, I got my ages mixed up because puberty also happens in there.
I hit puberty like really young.
Really?
I hit it in like 7th grade, yeah. I started shaving my sideburns in like 7th grade. Yeah.
What is in the food in Long Island?
But I was like 5'9", 5'10", at like 13,
terrifying.
180 pounds.
No, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
That is the
I had this voice in 7th grade.
That is the scariest 7th grader ever, truly. God, that's so funny. So did you do sports your whole life?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when you were in high school and you decided you were going to lose this weight, like, what were the food choices like? And like, was your mom willing to like make healthier meals, or like, what was the deal with that?
To be honest, I was running so much and like working out so much that
okay.
It wasn't really like food based. Like I'd still eat like one of those like yodel things every day, or like a Twinkie. I was selling Twinkies every day from like the school cafeteria.
Yeah, like when you were a kid, it didn't really matter. You just kind of had to increase your activity in order to offset what you were eating and lose weight. I mean, that makes sense. That sounds like a teenage boy's trajectory, honestly. Okay, so you lost that weight that like kind of, you can call it baby fat, because you were like,
I guess so, yeah. But I already hit puberty. Like I was in puberty for like a few years at that point.
Okay, yeah. So the post-puberty baby fat that you lost. Did you gain the weight back ever in your life of?
So I had cancer.
Okay, brag.
Yeah,
Cancer is great for your physique.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Just so I started chemo, and I had to stop drinking. Like this is like 4 years ago, and I lost like 15 pounds just from not drinking.
From not drinking, I mean that checks out, dude.
Chemo made me like shredded, dude. Like
I bet.
Fucked up.
I bet. So 4 years ago, you were diagnosed with cancer.
So they actually found it when I was 15. The tumor, not related to like the working out stuff, but so they were monitoring me, and then I had a surgery. I had brain cancer. Okay. So I had a brain surgery my senior year of high school, my freshman year of college, and then I had my third one like right after I graduated.
Wow.
So as someone who's like works out all the time and is like very like, I don't want to say I'm all my looks, but I'm very
you focus, like you value it, like you focus on it. It's something that you work towards. That's
I'm probably more vain than I should be.
Okay, yeah.
But I work hard for it. Totally. So
yeah, that's totally fine.
But very valid. You can't like work out for a certain amount of time after surgery and stuff. And
yeah, totally.
Some of the meds are like super hard on you.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, it's cancer.
So
brain cancer of all.
And like the first few like I remember after my first surgery, I'm still in the hospital.
Yes.
And this is like, I think I had surgeries are always on a Thursday. This is probably like a Friday night, maybe Saturday. Maybe it was Saturday. And I was eating a salad, and my doctor walks in, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Anthony?" And I'm like, "What? I don't want to get fat, dude. Like, I can't move." He's like,
what was he expecting you to eat? Like a sandwich?
I don't know, but he was like, "You need fucking calories. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you just had a major traumatic event. Like, you need calories."
Okay, yeah. That's interesting how, and I mean, that is like kind of body dysmorphic of you in a way, because actually it is very body dysmorphic, because here you are in it where you need to be focusing on like resting and repairing and rejuvenating, because not only are you dealing with cancer, it's the post surgery of cancer.
8-hour brain surgery.
Oh my God. Yeah,
and I'm eating a salad.
You deserve a fucking sandwich. Like, get this man a hoagie.
But after my third one, so they put me on steroids for 2 weeks.
Those are rough.
Those kill. And I remember after my third surgery, it was like probably, so you're on them for a week, like the full dose, and then you got to wean off them.
Right.
And I was weaning off them, and I woke up, and there was a bad snowstorm. And I had a monster fucking, like, I woke up and I was like, "Mom, we need to go to the hospital. Like, something's wrong. Like, my head is that bad."
Yeah.
And so it was a snow, like blizzard, so we couldn't go.
Yeah.
My mom calls like the surgeon's PA, and she's like, "What do we do?" And so she was like, "Oh, you just have to up the steroids again." So after that, man, like I completely lost my six pack. Like I just like, I was eating ice cream every day, because like I was up at night, like wanting to rip my stomach out. Like it hurt more than like my head.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, wait. I'm trying to get my timeline straight, because you're like what, early 20s right now during this, or late teens?
So I was 17 during my first surgery, 18, and then I was 22 when I was
during this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it sounds like when you got, like, you had puberty, you were 15, and then it's kind of like, that's when I'm going to focus on my body.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So 15 to 17 you find out you have cancer, you have to have 15 you find out about cancer. Did the cancer diagnosis and your health like and your want to be healthy, did those like coincide?
No, it was just because of like I wanted to get in shape and like I wanted to be able to
be
able to run. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, you wanted to do basketball.
So when they first found it, they had no idea what it was. It was like a totally incidental finding, like completely unrelated. And so they had no, like, it wasn't impacting my life at all.
Right.
And so they were like, we don't know what this is. Like, it could be one institution. We sent like the scan out to like a bunch of places in the city because 15.
Yeah.
There's all of a sudden there's this spot on my head. Like, what the fuck's going on? And I think it was like Columbia or someone was like, oh, we don't even recommend like following up on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Believe it.
They thought it was just a shadow.
Right.
Because it was only on one MRI and it was not impacting my life at all. And
yeah, wow, good. And your mom was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for her. My mom would have been like, well, the Columbia said it's fine, and like, God, that's so terrifying. Okay, got it. So it was just like this incident thing where you found out about it.
I chose to be like treated at Sloan. Like I went to like see a few doctors, and I liked the doctor at Sloan the best. And they did like a repeat, and it was still there, but again, not affecting my life at all.
Yeah.
So then I had a checkup scan my senior year, and that's when they saw it start growing. And they had no idea what it was.
Wow. Okay. So that's when it became an alarming thing because it started to grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they saw changes, and then even then they had no idea. And then my doctor was on the phone with my parents when he like read the pathology for the first time.
Wow.
And I was like, shit. Like.
Okay. So does it have like a long weird name of what it actually is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a diffuse astrocytoma.
Diffused astrocytoma. Okay. Interesting. So you're 22.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost your body entirely.
Kinda.
How you feel? Like you don't have a six pack anymore.
I kind of like viewed it as like something cool because I'm like now I have something to work towards.
Oh my God,
again.
that is the most boy answer ever. One of my friends dated a guy like this where he like would intentionally gain weight just to go through the process of like getting.
See, I want to do that, but it's like
but it's
I was like I didn't have a choice. Yeah.
You're like, okay, this is like a science experiment.
Yeah.
Where like, okay, I don't have the body that I want, but now I can go through the motions of working out, whatever. So how long?
Oh, and I was also in like, I got rear-ended.
Oh, God, the hits just keep on
like
coming.
4 weeks before I had surgery, so
I
did like no physical exertion for like 10 weeks. I got so good at 2K, dude.
Man, you could have been a Twitch streamer.
I was like top 0.0001% in the world or some shit. Like
crazy. Oh man, just give a 21-year-old a controller and it's over for
that was all I could do for 10 weeks.
Yeah, your thumbs are very strong.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So you got really good at, what'd you say, 2K?
2K, yeah. NBA 2K was a fucking monster.
Oh, that's so funny. Do you still play video games?
Not really.
Really? That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, I still play. I'll play like 2K or Madden, but I'm not really like a big.
You're not like into Fortnite.
No.
Okay. Cool. You're like, I'm cool. I don't play
No.
Not that I play. I don't play Fortnite. I don't play any video games. Okay, so you get back on your feet after the cancer. Was your mom trying to like baby you to be like, no, don't go do that, like, don't overexert yourself?
So definitely like the first surgery.
Yeah.
Like that. I remember one time I felt like a pop in my head. I was like must have been like a week after I was cleared for like physical activity. Mm-hmm. And I went and I got like a CAT scan because I was like,
you felt
I thought something popped.
Yeah.
But by the time my third surgery, and so, after I can't like walk by myself. Like I can't go on like a walk by myself.
Okay, you like needed assistance.
Yeah. And like I can't like shower by my dad has to stand in like the bathroom. Yeah, dude, because it's like if I fall, like I'm dead.
Okay, gotcha. It wasn't like you didn't have the motor skills too. You had to.
No, it was just like
Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. You just had a very sensitive thing happen. So.
But like after my first surgery, I was definitely like the most like paranoid. Like it took me like an hour to walk around my block the first time. Yeah. After my third surgery, I was like, after like 3 weeks, I'm like, can I run, Mom? Can I go running now? And she's like, no, Anthony. Like.
What was that like being a high schooler having something like cancer? Were you somewhat of a small celebrity in your high school? Because I didn't go to school with anybody with cancer.
It was weird. So I went to an all-boys Catholic high school.
Oh my God. I went to Catholic high school too.
Was it all... Was
no,
it co-ed?
It wasn't all
Yeah.
girls. It was co-ed. It was co-ed. Cardinal McCarrick. Where'd you go?
Chaminade on Long Island.
Hell yeah.
Mineola. Fuck that place. But
I don't know a single boy. I don't know a single boy that's normal. That like doesn't absolutely loathe their all boys Catholic high school.
Yeah. Red flag if he likes it.
And they're always like, fuck Brother Thomas, that fucking cuck.
Yeah.
He was such an asshole to me.
we had a priest that got caught diddling.
Oh, you had a my high school's namesake got defrocked as a cardinal because
Really?
he had a brothel of boys. Yeah, back in like the 80s.
I love the term defrocked.
I know. Defrocked.
Wait, so that's still the name of your high school though?
No, in fact, it was after I graduated. Then defrocking and everything happened after I graduated.
This is like a recent thing.
Yeah, the school's now closed. It reverted back to St. Mary's is what it was called originally.
Okay.
And the only reason why they called it Cardinal McCarrick because he must have given the diocese a touch and like a bunch of money or whatever. He was a big old diddler, and so he got defrocked. They went back to St. Mary's, and I forgot where I was going with this, but we also, because I went to Catholic elementary school as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, K through 13.
Yeah.
Or K
12.
through 12. I said 13 years of school.
K through GED.
Yeah, exactly. There was a priest there that didn't touch anyone in the school, but had touched someone elsewhere and was replaced at our school. And so once that got out, he had to get moved again.
Yeah. They told us that he was on a special assignment to Rome.
No. Damn. Did you watch the Nickelodeon Quiet on Set documentary?
I have not, no.
Oh, okay. You got to watch.
Have you?
I just got done watching it.
Oh, really?
It was crazy. Lots of diddlers. Lots and lots of diddlers. Okay. So... Yeah, so all boys. So see, the girls would have loved you. The girls would have loved to have gone to school with the cute boy that has brain cancer.
Yeah.
So how did guys treat you?
I mean, I liked most of my classmates. Like they were all like very supportive.
Yeah.
Even like the teachers, everyone kind of like rallied around me, but
lots of prayers.
Yeah. It was also like I had surgery November 3rd. And, Catholic school, we get off the day after Halloween. So I went to like a big Halloween party. And I just shaved my head a few days early. And I bought like a little hoop earring.
Stop, that's amazing.
And I went as Mr. Clean. And
I love that.
It was so weird, though, dude, because like people I had no idea existed were like coming up to me and being like, oh, like, that's so crazy. And everyone's shit-faced. And I'm like, this isn't.
Yeah.
This is like it kind of feels too much like my own funeral.
Oh, that is crazy. First off, shout out to All Saints Day. Best day of the year. I remember being
Goated.
I remember being in school when it was like talked about like they might not give us All Saints Day, and I was ready to fucking riot. I'm like, you mean I have to go to school after Halloween? Like I was not having it.
What about Jesus, dude?
I know. It's All Saints Day. Okay, yeah, so like it felt like attending your own funeral. How did the all boys school, how did you like have friends that were girls?
Well, there was like an all girls high school, and then you just know people.
So if there was like a basketball game, would the all girls high school like be the cheerleaders?
No, we didn't have cheerleaders.
Okay. Way too Catholic for that.
I think they were just all way too much into boys.
Right. Got it. Okay. Did you go to college?
Yeah. I also went to a Catholic college.
Where'd you go?
So, long story. I went to Fordham my freshman year.
Okay.
And then I had surgery, I had my second surgery like halfway through. So I didn't go back the second semester. I just did like a few classes at Hofstra.
Okay.
Because it was like by my house and I could drive there. And then I was going to go back to Fordham, but it was like just kind of a lot of like PTSD and stuff. And like taking the subway to see doctors all the time. It was just like, I was like, I wanted to like go outside of the city a little bit. So I ended up going to Fairfield.
Okay, cool.
And then I went abroad my junior year. So I was like 4 places in like 5 different semesters.
You were living life. Where'd you go abroad?
Florence.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you love it?
I loved it. Yeah.
Was it just like party central? Oh, to be a 20-something in Florence.
I was going out like 5 nights a week.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I never did a full semester abroad or a summer abroad, but all my friends that did always talked about how you just partied the whole time. And I had done this one class in college where we got to go to London for spring break, but you got credits towards like college. It was a college class. It was like whatever. I partied so much because I was 19.
Yeah.
So I was there and I was legal, baby.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. God, we got so fucked up. Ugh, so fun. So was the doctor like, I guess when you're young, like pre-21, the conversations around alcohol and cancer, is the doctors having that with you?
They're asking how much I'm drinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And you're answering in front of your parents?
no.
Yeah.
My doctor.
He was cool. He got it.
I'm still like pretty good friends with my doctor, and he would always like kick my parents out, and like we'd have like a talk.
Totally.
He'd like, he'd go through like this checklist of
tobacco, marijuana. Yeah, because no matter how sick you are, you tell your Irish Italian parents that you're drinking underage, it's over for you, bro. You better hope that cancer's stage 4 and you're done, man. I would rather be dead than have my mom find out.
I couldn't drink until my surgery because they were like, we don't know what this is. Like if you have alcohol, you may have a seizure, and then I was like, then I'd lose my license and I'd have to go through all that shit. Yeah. And I was like, it's not worth it. And then they like knew, like my mom like would drive me to parties and stuff in high school, like pick me up.
Yeah.
But whenever I'd come home, she'd be like, Anthony, how many beers? And I'd always be 2.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It'd always be 2.
And she would call it. She always knew, man. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, sorry, I don't know if you answered this. Did she really try to baby you after? Like, did she want you to like be close to home when it came to college and all that stuff? Because now you were like, freshly have a fresh diagnosis, or No,
I think she was more like live your life.
Live your life, get out there.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's good. And were you wanting to?
Yes.
Yeah. You were ready to get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of just wanted to party for
Yeah. I get that. Oh, wait, totally.
X amount of time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Get that. Because did you also have this feeling of like, I beat cancer, I'm going to live for forever? Or like, was it life is short, this can end at any time?
Very much life is short.
Yeah. This can end at any time kind of thing. Okay. And you like lived like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I was 17 when that happened. Like that's like the only
that
way
is like
I've kind of known how to live. Yeah.
Yeah. You become an adult very quickly because there's always this thing of like, we're all so busy. We're all living our life. We have a million distractions until you get sick.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that matters is that you're sick and you need to get healthy. So like getting that lesson at a young age, that's not even a lesson that I've had to learn at my age.
People don't really learn it. Young.
No, people
I
don't
feel like I
learn
kind of learned it a little too young. Like I'm glad I learned it.
Yeah.
But like.
Now you're like.
Yeah.
So with that cancer diagnosis, were you ever tempted to do anything like human the steroids or anything like that, growth hormones? No.
Just because like
even touch it.
Well, cancer cells are just rapidly dividing cells, and that just all that does is just speed up the minute. Yeah.
Do you think you would have been tempted if the cancer hadn't happened and you had this like want to have this nice physique? Sorry, is he?
That's okay.
He's just really into you.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
The question is, do you think you would have gotten dabbled into steroids if you hadn't gotten?
Maybe. Yeah. Like definitely like creatine. Like I've thought about creatine before, and if I don't have to worry about my liver or anything, I feel like
Do you like is like the most you'll go supplement wise like protein powder?
I don't even use whey.
You don't even use whey.
I just make my own.
How do you make your own?
I just use PB2 and one of those carnations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's
and like Fairlife milk, and that's
That's kind of like is that kind of like all you really need?
Yeah. Like all whey is just I mean none of it's FDA approved, so my doctor was like
don't do it.
Yeah, cuz they don't know.
Yeah.
I remember
that stuff will give you cancer.
Yeah, I already have that. I don't need any more of it.
Yeah.
But I remember I was taking like one protein powder, and it was like I did a lot of research, and this was like very highly rated, and then I find out it's like made with like cows that are pumped with like bovine growth hormone, which is just HGH for cows, and it's like all right, if they're getting steroids, then I'm
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the food that we eat.
Yeah.
So are you very particular about the food that you eat? Like, do you only buy like free range grass fed? I
No.
mean, that is like an
Yeah.
impossible. I
can't afford
as
that,
I was
bro.
saying it, I was like, this boy does not have the budget. This man does not have the budget.
Okay, well, presumptive, all right? First of all.
I
but-
definitely don't have the budget, so I get it. Okay. Yes. So
you are correct.
right. So, but like you do maintain a diet, as in like you watch what you eat in terms of candy and sugar, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
more just out of vanity than
Right. It's not
anything
really
else,
like I need to keep adding fuel to my body. It's more of like I like this physique. I don't want to gain weight. Like,
Yeah.
This is how I want to be. Okay, that's fair enough. So like what's a typical day like for you, like eating wise?
I say that I do have like a pretty not strict diet, but for breakfast I'll have a couple of pieces of toast, one with peanut butter and then one with Nutella. And then I have 6 eggs and then 3 whole, 3 white. And then
Can I ask what's the purpose of taking out the yolk?
just like cholesterol and stuff.
Do you worry about your cholesterol?
No, but I don't. 6 eggs is a lot every day.
Every day.
Yeah,
And this is what you're eating every day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. You just throw those yolks out?
Yeah.
Damn, that's such a waste.
I don't know, maybe.
No, it's not a waste, but like in my head, like I'm like scarcity mindset. We need to pick off every
Yeah.
piece of the cow,
Maybe I'll compost it next time. But that's my breakfast. And then for lunch, I normally just have like chicken and like raw baby spinach just like out of the
Delectable.
container.
Delicious. I love it.
And then I have my protein shake. And then I'll have like a protein bar as a snack. And then my dinner I'm normally like pretty lax with.
Oh, you'll like have
Yeah.
like a meal, like
And then sometimes I'll have like dessert.
right. Okay.
I'm a big dessert guy.
Depending on how hard you go at the gym,
That or just like how I've been
how you
the past few days.
how you're feeling emotionally.
Well, no, if like my body needs more calories, then and I've been like,
How do you figure? Do you track?
yeah,
Okay,
I have a
so
Fitbit.
that's so
Mhm.
based on like the Fitbit, like
Yeah.
whether or not you need more calories, because that's something with, I guess you can call it bodybuilding. Are you a bodybuilder?
I've done it before. I did it last year. I may do it this year again.
Okay.
I don't know.
So that's with maintaining muscles. We'll say you need to hit a certain number of calories.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if you were working out the way that you're working out and you eat the way that you eat, but you're not hitting the calories that you need to be hitting, would you find yourself losing weight, like muscle wise, like a noticeable difference?
Probably not noticeable, but I would also just feel shittier. Like
Okay.
there's like a certain like I got down to like 170 for the physique competition I did last year, and I felt like dog shit. Like it was
Like
I felt
too skinny.
it was miserable. Like I got really bad stage fright. Like
Oh, go figure.
I was like I need to quit stand up.
Really?
Yeah, like
I
it
mean,
was-
I
was that-
understand that. Yeah.
I was that like anxious about it, and
Yeah.
it just so my brain's like I'm starving myself. Like my brain's eating
yeah,
itself. So
totally.
it's like it was hard, but I'm like 180 right now. I feel like if I got down to like 175 maybe, I could look
right.
almost as good but feel
But feel like-
satiated and yeah.
Totally.
So like I will like have Oreos and dip them in Nutella. Like I'll do that.
Yeah,
but
crazy boy, partying.
I also don't drink anymore.
I
So
was gonna
that's
say, do you
like
drink
yeah.
now? Because like that's a lot of calories.
No, I stopped.
When did you stop drinking?
So I like really cut back when I started chemo. I started chemo April of 2020.
God.
Which is actually like a good thing because
Yeah, like
I couldn't go out. So
I know, but you had to go to the hospitals.
I would go like once a week to Long Island and get blood work done and stuff. But
Okay, but like were you like tripping over dead bodies or like?
no. And
Yeah.
it was at Sloan.
So it was like
So it was
cancer. It
cancer
wasn't, like,
specific.
you know,
Yeah, it wasn't
people coming
COVID,
in
no.
with COVID. Right. Okay.
Um,
So chemo is what made you cut down on drinking, and now you really don't drink.
Yeah.
Or you don't drink at all.
I kind of stopped. Like I was in Italy last summer, and I would have like a glass of wine
I
because
mean, come on.
my family like they live on like a farm there, in, like
so
southern Italy, and like
nice.
yeah, the boondocks. But
yeah.
the food was delicious, and they're like, if you don't drink, like I'm gonna murder you. And I'm like,
Right,
okay.
and like also if that's one of those cases where it's like if you didn't have a problem.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you didn't have a problem, and like the food is just different on a farm in Italy than
Yeah. So different,
New York
dude.
City
So different.
bodega. Like, like having your
that
food
and the wine that I had was like
so different.
Yeah.
So different.
It was homemade. It was
That stuff cures cancer.
Yeah.
Like truly. Okay, yeah. So you don't really drink now. So what inspired you wanting to go into a bodybuilding competition?
I've just been working out for so long, and it's like I've never had like a goal besides like basketball and stuff, like just to be in shape for that. But I haven't really played recently. I'm doing stand up now. I'm busy with that, so it was just kind of like I need something to train for.
Oh, okay, totally.
Yeah,
totally. You like to like kind of have that treat on the end of a stick when you're like running, kind of thing. You need to be running towards.
Yeah,
totally. Okay.
And it was like, I'm pretty consistent. I do the same workouts pretty much every day, so it's like I'm in this range, and it's like I'm maintaining, but I'm not getting better per se, and it's
that was bothering you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What were the other individuals like in the competition? Was there like a lot of different age ranges, or was it a big competition?
It was like probably like 40, 50 people total.
Okay.
Like guys, I don't know the women's. Most people were in like their late 20s, early 30s, but there were some like teenagers, some guys in like their 60s.
Yeah.
They were all cooler than I wanted them to be. I wanted them to suck and like get material from it.
And you'd
but
be
I
like
was
the
like,
coolest one. Totally.
But they were all like super nice. Like I didn't have a coach. Like I didn't no idea what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
They were all like super helpful about it. I'm like, damn, dude. Like,
yeah, because my next question was going to be, did you meet anybody really weird? And they all sound lovely.
I mean, they do post like compilations of themselves working out with like Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson over it. But that's like the biggest complaint I have, and if that's what you're doing. Then
but the inverse of that for what we do is we post shitty stand clips and shitty clips from our podcast. Like I almost would prefer a video with Jordan Peterson voicing. Yeah, we all do like the most cringy things.
Yeah.
So yeah, were they like enticed or excited by the fact that you do stand up? Were they like, oh, that's cool, or did you not mention it?
I brought it up, but I was also like, my brain was not working.
Right. Damn, you really were affected by. And you said it's just a 5-pound difference.
10, but I was also the day before I like starved myself.
Right. Yeah.
I think I had Chipotle and then I had like 5 cups of coffee and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
What was the binge like after?
Oh my God.
Competition. Take me through that.
Did we hit
a Chili's?
TGI Fridays. No, so it was the competition was in Stanford.
Okay.
So we went to Colony Pizza.
That? Is it like good pizza?
Yeah, it's like bar pizza.
Oh, I love bar pizza.
But it's so good. And we went there, and then I think my brother got me like rainbow cookies.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I ate like a whole log. Yeah, I was just.
There's this pizza place in northern New Jersey. It's called Fortune Bros or something. And it's like, it must be owned by like bodybuilders. And they take the concept of a cheat day so seriously. I'll send you the Instagram. It's like, they eat all this healthy food throughout the week. And then Sunday comes and it's like, they have a dessert pizza with like rainbow cookies on one quarter of it and Nutella and chocolate and cannoli dip on the other quarter of it. And so it's like bodybuilders, man, when they are free, when the shackles have been unleashed, they're able to go insane. How many calories do you think you took down
that day?
Probably
like 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Light
Easy,
work, no reaction.
maybe 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you just went for it.
Yeah.
Did you feel horrible after, or were you like?
Oh, I was so dehydrated.
Yeah, I bet.
I was
Oh my God, that's the
and
worst part.
I had a fucking spray tan. Oh my God.
Oh, the spray tan.
Yeah.
You were leaving orange streaks everywhere.
Everywhere, dude.
Your mom's like, "Don't sit on the white couch."
I just ruined all my family's cars.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, Anthony's been here.
I just felt like greasy and just
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't showered like a day.
Ugh, God. So, but you're thinking about doing it again?
Yeah, I would do it. I don't know if I'm gonna get spray tanned.
Tell me, were there people in the competition that went a little too dark?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I went
like part of the
I went a little
culture.
too dark, dude. And the lady doing it was like, oh, you need a third coat, and I'm like, no.
These Long Island tanners, man.
No, it was in Connecticut.
Oh,
and
Connecticut, yeah.
It was this black lady. She was like, you need a third coat. I'm like,
Listen, you're the authority. Can you please?
I'm like, you said it, not me.
I need you to send me a photo of you in competition so I
yeah.
can please put it up here. Right here. That's where it is. Anthony doing black body.
It's so wild that like everyone does it.
But I mean, I understand the functionality of it because when you are a tanner, you can see more of the lines and like
and the shadows, yeah.
And the shadows, and like that is part of the competition. Like, man,
yeah.
the lines
Well,
get
it's
blurry.
just a male, like women do it too. It's just a male beauty pageant. That's all it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, male beauty pageant. But there's no talent portion.
No,
That would be
I
sick
wish
if there was though.
I wish.
That would be so sick.
I would just end up just bomb.
Yeah. For my next act, I'm going to bomb so hard, it's going to be impressive. God, could you imagine doing stand-up at a bodybuilding competition? Talk about a tough room. I don't think I could do it.
I mean, you can make it relatable though.
That's true.
I could do it. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But they would all be too dumb to fucking get the joke.
Everyone's bodies are eating their brains because they're so hungry and dehydrated. No one would get the jokes. Hey, sir, are you afraid of dogs?
No.
Okay, cool.
I love dogs.
Yeah, he's being a little baby. Hey, stop. Here, I know because he has his girlfriend with him, so he gets a little bit psycho about the girlfriend. Gosh, yeah, Petra's a house guest, and so she doesn't know her place. Finny runs shit here, but he really likes you. I've never seen him attach himself to a guest as much. Was Finny on top of you when you did Joe's podcast?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Maybe I was out on a walk with him. That might have been.
We got to watch it again.
Yeah, totally. Check it out. Buff Boys or Locker Room Talk, whatever it is. I have no idea.
Buff Boys, yeah.
Buff Boys. Okay.
Way to plug your man's podcast.
Well, I wasn't sure which one you did. Whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So, okay. Let me think. What else? So, what else do I want to ask you? We did the bodybuilding competition. Oh, that's great. We love the street noise very much. So do you have cheat days nowadays?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that look like?
Well, I'll just have if I have a cheat day, I'll have like a snack or like something.
Just something outside of your routine.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'll like splurge on dinner.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
I'll dunk Oreos in Nutella and eat that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are you dating, single? What's the deal
I'm
there?
dating, yeah.
You're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are women ever do you ever get to a certain point when you're talking to a girl where she's like annoyed by how regimented you are with your food? She's like, I just want to go to brunch. And you're like, no, I have to have my 6 eggs.
Well, I'm not I'm like that during the week, but on the weekends I kind of let my hair down.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can live a little.
Yeah.
So you have a good relationship with it. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. What's the dating scene like in New York City?
I haven't been involved in it in a while, but
Because you've been doing too much stand up.
well, because I've oh, you mean like just dating my girlfriend?
Oh, you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you were dating. I thought that meant.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant someone specific. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I thought when you said you were dating, it was I'm out in the scene dating.
No.
I feel
it was hard though because I can't
sucks.
drink. I physically can't.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah. And dating is
Yeah.
I mean, let's go to a bar,
Mhm.
whatever. Does your girlfriend drink?
No.
Really?
Yeah. But she smokes a lot of weed too. So that's,
Okay.
yeah.
You smoke weed?
Oh yeah, I smoke a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm very good with the munchies though. I will.
Yeah. Okay, do you think it's okay, if you smoke a lot and you have the munchies? What if I have, a bunch of fruit in the house and I just go, ham on, some oranges?
That's still all sugar though.
Yeah. You subscribe to the fruit has sugar. We can't.
Well, I'll have a banana, but that's just for potassium so I don't cramp.
How bad is the sugar in fruit, though? Like I can't. I'm sorry.
It's not. No, it's not bad, but it's just like I'd rather have chocolate than an apple. You know, and if I'm gonna splurge like calorically.
I guess. But
if apple, like if an orange is like your chocolate, then like that's.
Well,
but also, if you could fit it into like your day.
Okay.
Like I have Nutella every morning. Like that's
right. That's true.
I fit it into my day. Like because I have literally like 0 calories for lunch. I have chicken, like 6 ounces of chicken, and then just like raw baby spinach like out of the fucking box, dude.
You literally eat that every day. Do you ever get like I would start to gag if that's what I had to eat for like the 5th day in a row.
Well, like I will.
You'll switch it out for broccoli, which is fine.
I'll like Uber Eats something. Like I'm a big like 2-for-1 guy on Uber Eats because then it's like you know I'm saving money,
totally.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
one delivery.
Yeah. I'll have like today I had like a cheesesteak for lunch that I got last night, and then I had Dos Toros for dinner.
Okay.
But I won't have like a snack.
So you won't have a snack later.
No.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. I'm just trying
I've been a bad boy today.
For shame. For shame. Do you actually feel bad if you overeat? Like emotionally?
Not really.
You are able to move past it.
Yeah. Like if it's been like I've been kind of shitty with it lately in my diet, and I do feel like I'm
right.
You know, body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
So that part, yeah, but like,
yeah,
physically I feel fine.
Okay.
Which is cool because there's been times where, you know, like when I'm too skinny or something, I just feel
you feel
emaciated, like
so bad. And when does something like feeling too skinny come up? Is it like life got busy and I just wasn't able to work out the way that I was, or is that when you're getting ready for competition? Like, when does that feeling of body dysmorphia, I'm too skinny, come in?
Well, it's just like if I'm like too lean, like if I feel like I'm not eating enough calories, then I'm like,
okay,
I'm not getting enough, you know, energy in.
Right. And do you feel like a little bit emotionally spent or emotional, I'll say, if like you haven't been able to work out as much as you'd like?
Yeah, that's like
a major thing.
Yeah.
So you work out every day?
Like 5 to 6 days a week.
5 to 6 days a week. And if you, for some reason, let's say, go 4 days without exercising, is that like, that would never happen, or?
So I do force myself to take like a week off.
Okay.
Every like 3 to 4 months.
Once a quarter. I like it. Yeah, quarterly break.
Just so that like, you know, I haven't been injured really. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Knock on wood. I feel you.
But I feel like that's kind of helped. Like,
yeah.
Whenever like my elbows start to feel kind of achy and like my wrists.
Totally.
I'll take off for a week then, but it's like.
Yeah. That makes sense. You know, I think when you talk about the conversation around body dysmorphia, you almost never hear it in the context of a man having it, ever. I feel like
I'm like laid everywhere because I just stare at myself in the mirror and be like, this isn't good enough. Like,
yeah.
I'm just kind of like looking for flaws.
Yeah, totally. And do you think that was happening your whole life, or is that something that happened more in your adulthood?
Well, definitely more recently, just because it's like I'm thinking of competing, so it's how do I? Because I haven't signed up for it yet, and it's in April, so I'm like, do I?
What would be the motivation to want to sign up if it is that emotionally taxing?
I don't know. It's just kind of
just something you do. It's like, this is what I do.
And it's like if I could be,
and you want to win.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really care about it last year. I was like stoned on stage, like
hell yeah. And I'm like, I have stage fright. It's like, no, you're high.
Yeah. So they're like, there's 5 of us on stage, and they would call you, like call your number, and then you go switch with the guy. So you'd raise your hand to see who you were switching with, and then you switch them. And so I was doing that. They called my number, I'm switching, and then they call 2 more numbers, and a guy puts his hand up, and I go to high five him, and I'm like, wait, I'm not supposed to be doing this. And like it's all like posing, like majority of it, and I didn't do no posing. I had no idea what.
Yeah.
I was like trying to learn it there, like guys were trying to help me, but
real fish out of water. That's intimidating. That's
but I didn't really care. I just kind of did it
Yeah.
to like experience it and like
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome.
get material from it. And now it's like,
No one really tries new things in their 20s, you know?
yeah. Well, I started stand up when I was like 27.
Yeah, I was 25, so
yeah.
I guess we do start new things. But like,
But that was
I don't
also
know.
post-COVID, like
Yeah,
for me.
that's true. That's true. Post-COVID. I mean, COVID was a whole nother thing for you. You were living a very different life during
Yeah.
COVID.
Like the side effects, because they have to list everything that happens to a person when they're on their medication
For cancer?
for any drug.
Okay.
So like if you look at like this,
Oh, okay.
the list of side effects for Tylenol, it's like 4 pages long.
Right,
Like the
Totally,
tiniest little
totally.
print.
Yeah,
And I didn't know that. So they're handing me a pamphlet. I'm like, I need a magnifying glass to read the
Yeah.
side effects. And I'm like, I'm supposed to start this during COVID? Like these are the same exact side effects as COVID.
As
but
COVID. Yeah, totally.
it ended up like working out for the best because, you couldn't go out. And I'm not the type of guy to just like sit at home and drink
Right,
a 12
right.
pack on Zoom.
Totally.
And I couldn't do that anyway anymore. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm just going to.
Totally.
That's when I really turned into like a pothead. Just like
Yeah, smoke a bunch of weed. I
So,
mean,
yeah.
hey, weed and cancer. That's like peanut butter and jelly, man.
it was vice for vice. But
Yeah, totally. I mean, and like there is like, I don't know, some hokey research out there that says that weed is good for cancer. So
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the worst it is like cancer neutral.
yeah,
say.
cancer neutral. I think it really does help with the side effects, though. Like
Mhm.
I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
my grandmother was like 80 and had cancer, and she wasn't eating. She was having a hard time sleeping, but she was getting through. She's like a tough Irish broad, she was
Yeah.
she was getting through. And my mom was like, I don't know, what if we just gave Grandma Betty a little pop brownie, And so made sure it was very low dose, whatever. And she's like, oh, Mom, I brought over some dessert. She had the pot brownie, and she's like, Kathy, I had the best sleep last night, and I woke up and I ate a full plate of breakfast. And my mom was like, it's a miracle. That's great, Mom. So I do think it definitely has like some properties of.
Oh yeah, and it helps because I do get like nausea from like my chemo and stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Do you have any follow-up doctors and stuff? Like, do you have to go to the doctor more than the average person because
Yeah,
of that?
I get a scan every 4 months.
A scan every 4 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's kind of complicated. But the tumor doesn't light up with like contrast, so all they see is like this gray patch of cells on the MRI.
Okay.
And they can't tell the difference between scar tissue and tumor tissue.
Okay.
So I started the chemo because they think it's back. I'm telling myself that it's not back and it's just scar tissue acting abnormally because that's happened before with me, which is fun.
Okay. So it showed up on a scan.
There's stuff that's on my scan all the time,
Okay.
but they can't tell the difference between scar tissue and tumor tissue.
Got it. Okay. Yes.
So it could all be scar tissue, it could all be tumor tissue, or it could be mixed. They don't know until they go in. The only way to tell is like biopsy it, and the only way to biopsy it is
To cut your head
surgery.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna get biopsied?
Well, that just leads to more scar tissue. So
Ah, Christ.
I call it the most educated guess in the world, but every time I go for a scan, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we don't think it's back," but they can never
Right.
definitively tell me. I call it Schrodinger's tumor.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. It's literally like
Yeah.
I kind of live in like this weird limbo where it's like my tumor's back, but at the same time it's not back, and no one can
Yeah,
tell
it
me
could just
definitively
be-
either
yeah.
way.
So what is that like emotionally?
It's hard.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
And it took me a long time to get to the place where I am now, where it's like
Yeah.
I think I'm finally like I say weaponizing it. I don't mean like weaponizing it, but I think I'm finally turning it into like something positive.
Right.
But for a long time, it was like,
Right.
yeah, I'm dying in 3 months, and this is
Right.
I'm partying until
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
like I got 3 months to live,
You know,
and
like
then it's
we
like,
s-
okay, I'm
Yeah.
okay, but then I have a scan in 3 more months.
Right.
So I was living in like 3 month intervals. So
Oh
it
my!
was,
That is a very bizarre way to
Yeah.
like have to look
and
at your life.
that's kind of like how I came into adulthood. Like that was like
yeah. Trepidation.
I was a senior in high school. I was writing my term paper when I found out like
Yeah.
I needed to meet with the surgeon.
I know it's such a tricky thing because obviously you don't want to go into surgery unnecessarily, but you definitely want to see what it is, but then it causes more scar tissue. So, it's just like in the year of our Lord 2024, like we don't have a scan that can
There's nothing.
properly identify
I had a fucking hour and 45 MRI last week, and I'm just in the machine and like this.
Oh.
For an hour and 45 minutes.
No
it was
music
miserable.
or
no.
just in your head?
Just the music from the MRI machine.
Oh, God. What did you think about for that time? You're just like...
You kind of just like lose track. Like,
remind us that the past is... Like I would just have songs in my head.
Yeah. You kind of just like zone out. Like I've fallen asleep in there before.
Oh, okay. Well, you can fall asleep.
Yeah. Sometimes. Other times I'm just like cramping up. Like...
Oh, are you claustrophobic?
No, but
Thank
I'm
God.
just... I don't fit in the machine. Like I'm too wide.
Does that make you feel a little bit good, though?
Kind of.
That's amazing.
Low key, I'm like, damn, my biceps are big today.
Hell yeah. No, I totally feel that. You're just like, when something like is, should be a thing that's like bad or impending, you're just like, okay. I totally get that.
Well, I also like do material about cancer, so that's like...
Of course. I mean, you write what you know.
Yeah. So I've always had like a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah, of course. You have to.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to. Wow, what an interesting way to be. I've never thought of having to look at my life in 3-month intervals, and just this feeling of, after you were 22, having it be, I guess, in remission, but then having to go back for these scans. And so how long ago did you get the most recent scan?
Last week, and it was stable. So yeah, we're
good.
Stable. Yeah.
Okay.
Which just means like the spot hasn't grown. So
yeah.
Since I've been on the medication, they don't know. Again, it could just be scar tissue that stopped changing. They have no idea. But
and is one of the side effects of the medication that you're on to gain weight?
Not really. I don't think. It's just like there's a side effect. Everything's a side effect.
Right,
like hair loss, hair gain, weight loss, weight gain. Like.
Yeah. Have you been on a medication? Oh yeah, we talked about this. You've been on
steroids,
that with your body, and because that can be really tough. That can be very, very difficult for anybody going through any sort of health thing where like now you're on a different medication. People with mental health problems deal with this a lot, where like they try to switch around their medications and they find something that helps them mentally, but they've gained a bunch of weight. And that's really difficult because it's like, well, my, schizophrenia has gone away, but I've gained 50 pounds. That happens all the time with medication.
Yeah, it's like I was depressed, and then I got on my antidepressants, and now I'm happy, but I'm also 40 pounds heavier. Yeah,
but now
so now I'm depressed. Yeah,
exactly. Now I'm depressed about the way that I look. Absolutely. And that's why here on this podcast, we like to try to educate people and remind you that like just because you might be a person that's fat, it doesn't necessarily mean you're unhealthy. You just could be on a medication that's like fucking with you or whatever. There's a whole bunch of reasons why people gain weight and lose weight, like cancer.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So how we feeling a week out from the last scan? Like it's just like, okay, until the next one.
Yeah, it's kind of just like back to normal, and then like 2 weeks before, 1 week before, like the anxiety will start amping up a little bit, and then the night before is always kind of reflective, I would say, like just trying to process everything, and then then this scan, and then I get the results the same day, which is awesome. Like right after, which I'm really lucky because I know it takes people like a long time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fucking imagine waiting.
Now,
but I was good, and then I'm like, okay. But it's also kind of weird because there is like this moment of like, I was getting hyped for like my, gearing up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, you don't have to do that. And it's like, well,
it's mindfuck, total mindfuck.
Well, it's just fucking like adrenaline, and it's like.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to adrenaline, dude. Like
Totally. It really does throw you like that, where it's like, all right, I'm preparing. This is going to be the thing that I'm going to have to do, and I'm going to get through it, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah. That's why I started comedy, because I was like, I need something to do. Like I was really bored.
I mean, talk about the highs and lows of adrenaline.
Yeah.
Comedy, getting on stage, that'll do it to you. Absolutely.
But it's like, doing the chemo was like my decision. Like I had doctors telling me I'm just crazy to even think about doing it, and then my team at Sloan was like, no, you probably should do it. And I was like, I felt like I was choosing how I was going to die.
Right.
Because it's like, well, I could not go on this now and hope for something even better, or I could not go on this now and I'm fucked.
Right. Wow. And like that is just you're so young to have to be making that decision, because ultimately it is your decision no matter what your parents are saying.
And it was like, I almost kind of wish the doctor was like, oh, you just have to go on this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is like what you do.
Like, this is like, make this less my choice.
Even like my third surgery was like my choice. Like
Wow.
Yeah, I was very just like emotionally like taxing.
Yeah.
Like, I was a fucking wreck.
I don't understand though why the doctors, and it was just based on their educated guesses, to like be like, no surgery, no chemo, and you were the one to of the options you want to proceed the way that you did.
So I got a lot of second opinions. Like I've sent like my scans to Hopkins, like LA, like everywhere, like Boston. I'm kind of a unique case just because like you don't really find a teenager who's really healthy.
Yeah.
Like you don't find a tumor incidentally. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So there's no protocol for me.
Right.
So they're kind of just like making it up.
Yeah, there's nothing that they can go off of.
So like after my I've never had like traditional chemo or radiation. But after my second surgery, I was 18. They said it was low grade, but it recurred within a year already. What is it? And then how do we treat them? Like I was 18.
Yeah.
Am I treated as an adult, which is chemo and radiation, or am I treated as a kid, which is just resection and then push it farther, like kick the can down the road? And my doctor was like, oh, we don't know what to do. I'm going to present it at a tri-state tumor board. There's going to be 40 doctors there. I'll get a better idea then. I was like, okay. And then he came back and he was like, it was a dead even split. Like
your cancer is such a prima donna. Like I need to be sat before a board. Like
he was like, yeah, 20 of them said radiate and do chemo, and then 20 of them said don't do any treatment. So he's like, what do you want? What do you want to do? And I'm like, well,
like this wasn't helpful at all.
Like, you guys have been studying this longer than I've been alive. Like, what am I?
That is like. That's like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, when it's like they do the 50-50 to like exclude two of the answers, and it's like between the two that the person thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh God, that is hell. And so, are you happy with your decision with what you went through?
Yeah, I kind of have done. I feel like everything right, but that also kind of scares me.
Going off of instinct.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
So you have a good instinct.
Maybe I just got lucky. I don't know.
No. I don't believe that.
But it was like, you could always undo. You could never undo radiation.
Right.
But you could always do radiation. So that was kind of like.
Yeah.
We were like erring on the side of caution there. And then the split decision was like, all right, dude. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck do you want me to do? And then I was like, okay. Like,
yeah.
You could always undo it. Like, I'm monitored very closely. Like, almost as closely as you could be. So. Yeah. And then it was 4 years until my third surgery. And then. But even that was mainly just scar tissue.
Right.
So going in, it was like surgery and chemo and radiation or nothing.
Yep.
And just wait until a drug like I'm on now comes.
So your drug is like new?
For brain tumors, yeah.
Wow. That is lucky.
Yeah. So it was, I think I've been on it like 4 years now. 4 years in April. And then I know my doctor had like a couple of patients a couple years ahead of me. But it was made for leukemia.
Okay.
And then they saw it cross the blood-brain barrier pretty effectively, and I don't know how or why they did that, but so they started giving it to brain cancer patients. But like it's kind of scary because they don't know how long I could be on it.
Yeah.
Like how long like what happens when I come off.
Right. All that.
So, I mean, I've been good. Like, all my levels are good pretty much. Just kind of chronically dehydrated, but that's fine. Which I guess helps with the bodybuilding stuff.
I mean, between the pot smoking and the medication, you are a shriveled up little boy.
Oh, my God. I had an MRI once, and I took an edible. And it was like 100 milligram O-ring, and I I took like a quarter of it. So I'm like, all right, 25, in 5 hours by the time I need to talk to my doctor, like I'll be through the scan. Right. I'll be good. I'll be chilling. But they were old.
Yep, so they all coagulated.
And yeah, all into that fucking, I was high. Quarter. I was high for like 10 hours that day. I was stoned off my ass. I was in the MRI machine and I was like, can you die from dry mouth? I was like.
Oh, that is hell.
Yeah.
That is hell. You can't get out. You're in there.
No, and I was like, I can't even Google it. Like, so I'm just laying in there for like an hour, and I'm like, this would be the most embarrassing way to die, dude. Like,
I'm gonna be the only person that dies of dry mouth.
I was like, there's no moisture left in my body. This is absurd.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I'd be thinking I'm like having a heart attack or something.
Yeah. And then I met with my doctor, and he was like, "Are you okay, dude? Like, what's going on with you?" And I'm like, "I'm fine."
You're like, allergies. Damn. So, do you have like brain cancer homies? Did you meet people throughout this process that are dealing with brain cancer or cancer as well?
Yeah, So I had like I'm treated at Sloan.
Yep.
And they have a peds floor, and I'm a peds patient. I'm still a peds patient, which is kind of weird because I'm 30.
Like you're
an
adult
I'm about
man.
to be 30.
You're walking through, and they give you like a little dinosaur like gown.
Yeah, but so it's mainly just like little kids, and then me.
Do they think you're the coolest ever?
No, I think they're all like too sick.
Oh God.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But there are like some like young adult kids that I've like introduced myself to, just to. So I met this one guy, Adam. I think we were both like 18 or 19, and he passed away when we were both 22, which was also just like super weird.
Yeah, from cancer.
Yeah.
That is so emotionally taxing on you to lose a friend who is your age dealing with what you are dealing with. How did you get through that?
I drank a lot.
You drank a lot.
Okay. I tried to go to therapy, but I wanted to join like the FBI at the time.
Oh, right.
And I went to the school therapist, and she was like, "Oh, like the FBI is going to be privy to any of these conversations." And I was like, "Okay, fuck this. I'm not coming back." Wow. And I was just really depressed. Yeah.
Damn. And why did you decide not to join the FBI?
So I actually got like medically rejected.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of your cancer?
Yeah.
Wow.
They wouldn't let me. I guess they were like, yeah.
All of that.
I mean, best thing never happened to me.
Yeah,
like,
thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, we never. It's like so. That is. I mean, I don't know how else it would work, but like it's crazy that like as a kid, essentially, you want to be in the FBI. You go through something where you need therapy, like you sought therapy out, and it's like, oh, the FBI will know about this, which is crazy to think about. But it's like making a decision of like, oh, I want to be in the FBI at that age, when it's like you don't know what you're gonna want when you're young, like when you're older, you know.
I mean, I was also like a senior in college when that happened, so it was just kind of like
Ugh.
It was like gay to go to therapy.
Yeah,
back in 2016.
Gayest thing ever. Yeah, no. Totally.
And I think I finally started going in like 2018 because one of my friends, like I didn't even know this girl really, but her sister got sick, like from my town, and I was just going out every night and like getting shit faced and like crying. And I'm like, this is an issue.
Oh, I've been crying at a bar. Yeah. I've been crying. Totally. You're like good at like helping yourself out when you need to.
What do you?
You went to therapy. Men never go to therapy. You yourself.
I like needed to do something. Yeah. I just like could not continue the way.
Like I'm not crying in the club anymore.
Yeah. I was like, this is a cry for help.
Yeah.
I'm literally crying for help.
Yeah, literally crying for help.
But it was hard because like I told my mom, and she was kind of like not super supportive. Like
really.
Yeah. I mean this was like 2017, 2018. So like this was like before. Like COVID definitely.
I'm sorry, the world is different. The world post 2020, like we're using language that we've never used. Like it is.
Like it's definitely more like
different.
Mental health positive and stuff.
Pre 2020, if you were like, if you mentioned that you meditate to somebody, they'd be like, okay, I didn't know this person.
Dude, I didn't tell people I went to therapy because it was like coming out.
Yeah, totally. Literally.
Like talking about your feelings is actually the gayest thing a man can do.
Yeah, never mind the fact that I am a cancer survivor. It's still really lame and weak if you go to therapy, just so you know. Like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. I should have started way early. I should have started like after my first surgery. I was pretty fucked up back then too.
But you went into therapy with lots of material, lots to talk about, lots to talk about.
Yeah, I got my money's worth.
Totally, hell yeah. Are you still in therapy now?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Ugh, I love it.
I've been going ever since, yeah.
Huge advocate for therapy.
Yeah.
Huge.
I mean, I definitely think there's like, you can overtalk your problems.
Yeah.
But I think just like verbalizing them, like I have it once every 2 weeks, which is
that's
good for me.
That's a good
I don't need
rhythm.
it any more or any less.
Yeah.
And I don't want it any less. Like,
I
like the 2 weeks. Yeah, I just feel like verbalizing like your shit and like saying it out loud, even.
Yeah. You know,
not even the advice they give. It's just like.
It's so that it doesn't fester.
Yeah.
And like give you cancer. But you know,
talk about your feelings. Don't be like me.
but here's the thing. My grandmother she's worried her whole life, worried about everything. And I promise you, worrying at the level that she was worried her entirety of her life gave her a heart attack at one point. Like, she got a heart attack for how gutsed up she got herself. So it's true. Like, these emotional feelings do manifest into physical pain, physical ailments. Like, it's absolutely, I like am fully subscribed to all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of healing modalities, and we do have to wrap up. But in terms of healing modalities, like, did you ever find yourself looking into like, maybe I can positively affirm my cancer away, or did you look into healing meditations and any of that stuff? Or
so one of my friend's mom was really sick for a long time. She passed away a few years ago, but she fought like stage 4 ovarian for like 10 years, like 8 to 10 years.
And is this in your town?
Yeah.
Is there something happening?
I don't know. There's got to be. Yeah, Long Island. Yeah, it's
something
pesticides and shit. Yeah. But she was like very spiritual, and like she saw this. She would go to Arizona every so often, like see this healer.
Yeah.
So I tried that.
Sedona.
I tried. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that.
You did that.
Yeah.
How was it? Did you cry?
I don't know if I cried like during the sessions. So it was weird. There was like a bunch of things. Like I did like an infrared. She kind of like set it all up for me. So I did like an infrared, like a lymphatic massage.
Oh hell yeah! You're speaking my language.
The spiritual healer with like
Reiki.
Yeah. Like vibrations, like all that stuff. So I don't know if it worked. Like they swore it was cancer cells, like my tumor was back, and like I had to have the surgery, and then it was all scar tissue, so I didn't end up needing chemo radiation. I don't know if it worked. I'm not.
You don't know, but
I don't know shit, but I mean, I would definitely do it again if if I had to.
If you had to, it can't hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
It can't hurt.
So even, it's like the Schrodinger's tumor thing, right? Like, it's back. It's not back for a long time. I was living like it was back, and it was like the next shoe's gonna drop, and it's like I'm gonna die in 3 months, and that's gonna be it. Or it's not. I'm not gonna die in 3 months, but my life is gonna be
everything's gonna be dramatically different.
Essentially over, because I have to go through treatment, and I'm gonna need another surgery. And I'm gonna be fucked up from that. And I'm just gonna be
totally.
I'd rather be dead.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, good thing you're going to therapy.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I was living like that for like a really long time, and then one day I kind of just woke up and I was like, well, you could be happy or you could be sad. Like, you can't change what's happening. Like, that's what's happening is happening, and that's like you have no control over it. And that kind of just like clicked for me at one point. So now I'm just like, all right, like, it's not back. It's just scar tissue. It is what it is. Like, you're fine. Like,
and you can't say you don't do everything in your power to not be the healthiest person. Like, you are an incredibly healthy individual. So it's like, I mean,
I could probably cut back on my smoking, but yeah.
I mean, you gotta
exactly, yeah. I need advice.
Yeah, what do you want from the kid? Jesus Christ.
You want to be everything?
Yeah. Wow.
No, my dad is like probably the most like disciplined guy I know. So
yeah. No alcohol, no drugs.
No alcohol, no.
Wow.
No drugs.
Was he excited that you were doing bodybuilding?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He did it. He did it when he was younger too, yeah.
Oh, okay. He could be your coach.
he had a coach though. Like he didn't really.
Yeah. I mean, because he had a coach, he could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Nice father-son bonding. Did he go with you to Connecticut to do that?
Yeah, he came up.
That's nice. Oh, see, that alone is a good reason to do the bodybuilding. So you get some dad time, you know?
I see my dad. I work with my dad, so I see him like once a
okay.
week when I'm in the office for a meeting. So
okay, good. That's awesome. So you're close with your family.
Yeah, and then my mom lives on Long Island, but I still.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Wow, man, I could talk to you all night about cancer and healing and all that stuff. But I got nothing else. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad. Where can people find you?
So Instagram is EL_Greco. I cannot emphasize that double underscore enough. And I think TikTok is Anthony_Greco.
Nice. All the handles will be in the description. Guys, until next time. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.